Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Band Trading Cards, and we have a special guest for today. He is the owner of MG Cards, a trading card grading company. He also have created the trading card game called POLYWOG. That's a cool game. It is now on Kickstarter. The initial goal was to raise around 12,000 US dollars, and POLYWOG is now 800% funded on Kickstarter with 101,196 to be exact pledged and 326 backers. The Kickstarter will end on October 16th, I guess. Yeah. Am
Yes.
I right? Yeah.
Yep.
And 2021. And I'm having a hard time with the backers numbers and also the fund because it keeps on coming up.
And they just keep going.
Just going, yeah. So let's welcome Keven Madden. Hi Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here and explain what's going on with this game, and I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I have prepared for you a series of questions that I think will provide values to our audience and especially those who are who wants to support Polywog in the Kickstarter, right?
Yes.
So some creators of TCGs, they always start with playing something like from 90s, like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, or from the 90s is mainly two, right?
Yes.
When did you start playing the TCG trading card?
Pokemon was my first. That's when I started because
Mhm.
Pokemon came out when I was like 6 or 7, maybe. So I've always collected Pokemon. It's always been there, and that was kind of my biggest inspiration for creating this game.
All right. So from aside from Pokemon or other TCGs, do you play with digital games?
I do play some digital games. I play pretty much anything, Xbox, PlayStation, all that stuff. But TCGs are what I like to physically collect, and
Oh
I just
yeah,
enjoy them a lot. I do that more now than I do physical or digital games.
because you can touch it, right?
I can
Like
touch it.
the
It's right there for
shuffle,
me. Yes.
something like that. Very nice, right? So, and also, is there something about more about your background that it leads you to the creating a trading card game like this Polywog, and what is your turning point?
Just that I've collected them a long time, and I do the grading, and I do sell products online as well, like Pokemon cards and stuff. So I'm just in the card market. So
Mm-hmm.
the original plan was to make a mobile game about collecting little creatures, but being in the market I'm in, it just kind of evolved into a trading card game.
Mm-hmm. So, have you done any game design before?
Little bits. I did spend a couple years in college at the art institutes for game design and game art, so I do have a little bit of background and understand how to build some things. So that helps out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So, is it the same as a trading card game, like a card game, or a
Um,
digital game?
Similar structures, like you got some of the same rules to follow. You got to make sure the mechanics work properly, and
Mm-hmm.
there's an underlying good game. You can't sell something on just the aesthetics alone.
Oh, okay. So, regarding the drawing, so do you hire artists or do you buy their license to use the art?
What I'm doing currently is I have I'm hiring an artist. I'm going to pay them. What I'm going to do currently with the art that's been released, it's just
Mm-hmm.
been like a one-off here and there. But we've already got a deal in place. So as soon as the Kickstarter ends, they're going to be getting their list of cards that needs to be produced. Like the main artist is going to get the artist has a list of cards they're going to be producing, and there's the deal is going to be finalized once the Kickstarter ends. The
Mm-hmm.
two main artists are Kendu and I want to say her name's Juliana. I don't want to mispronounce it, but they're
Uh-huh.
the two main artists. But I've also got a couple others that are producing some different types of artwork for some special cards.
So your team is composed of two artists, and do you do some artworks as well?
I can do some artwork. Mine isn't the quality that's going to be on the cards because
Mm-hmm.
they're okay, but they're not great. So what
Uh,
I do is I draw what I want, and then I send it to them and say, "Hey, make this look better."
uh, okay, so you have the concept, and then they will do their own style, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I can see that you have an MG cards, and then you are making a polywog. So are they separate entity, or it will be under the MG cards umbrella?
It's currently it is under the same name. It's under the MG cards.
Ah, okay.
It might
Yep.
stay that way, but I could branch it off in the future if I need to. but currently it can be owned by the same company and it shouldn't conflict or cause any problems.
Mm-hmm. So can you explain, or how does the Polywogs organization structure look like? Do you work alone, or you have like CEO, finance planning, something like that? So can you
Currently,
explain?
it's just me because it was
Mhm.
starting out very small. It's just a beginning thing. Like you said, I asked for 12 grand, and I honestly wasn't even
Oh
sure if I
yeah.
would reach that goal. I thought,
Mm-hmm.
I would just if I got there, I would be able to finish getting the artwork made, and then I would be able to get the cards printed, and then there was not much left over for me. It was just I want to get this out there because I think it's pretty cool, and then it's exploded. So
Oh yeah.
it's pretty exciting. It's pretty crazy.
Exponentially. Yeah. And there is also a similarity between Polywog's artworks and the like also the evolution of, you have stage 1 to 5, right? Something like that.
One through
And
threes. There could be some more though. There could be 4 stage, 5 stage in the
okay.
future. Who knows?
So it's quite a bit similar to Pokemon. And how is Polywog different from Pokemon or other TCGs? And what makes it shines from the rest?
Yeah. Okay. So like you mentioned, there are some similarities. The creatures, the artwork is similar, and there are stage one, two, threes. There's evolutions, but the play style of the game is completely different. There's no prizes, and your deck is your life. Uh, and the way it plays is just pretty different with the arenas, the battle pads.
Mm-hmm.
Evolutions can be played. If you have all three evolutions in your hand, you can pay it. You can put it all three down at one time. There's a lot of different mechanics. But Pokemon is a big inspiration for me. So you can kind of see that there.
Yeah.
And that's honestly probably going to help out, I think, a little bit getting it some attention.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna help because of your experience in Pokemon. There's
Yes.
like influence on that on your cards, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you give us the brief idea of the gameplay itself? So how do you start a game, and what are the rarities, or what are the stages of the Polywogs? Yeah.
All right. So the way the game plays out is each player they start off with a hand of 6 cards, and they automatically start with a basic battle pad down because all Polywog need to be played on a battle pad. You can't just throw them into the field.
Mm-hmm.
So these battle pads also have different abilities and things. So they could boost you or maybe have a defense against your opponent or things like that. And then you can have up to 4 of them on the field at one time, unless a card says otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And then during your attacking phase, you can attack with all 4 of them, attack other Polywog in any order you want. It's up to you. And once the enemy has no Polywog to defend themselves, you attack their deck directly and discard cards from their deck into the Forgotten Zone, so they are removed from the game completely.
So Forgotten Zone is like a graveyard or a banished zone?
It's like a banished zone, yeah, because you have a discard pile, but there are cards that allow you to move your discard back into your deck to like restore your life.
Okay.
So when your deck is attacked, they're removed from the game completely. That way, the game won't last forever.
All right. So the concept is like your Polywogs are underwater, and they can only fight when they are on top of a water lily or whatever leaf or something on top, like log. Maybe you have a pod that is a log or something, right?
Yep. There's mushrooms coming up,
Oh,
and then
nice.
things like that. There's going to be a few different things. And then moving on to in the future, it's going to change a little bit because this is the origin set. I'm trying to tell a story as the game evolves. Okay. So eventually they're going to come out of water. There's going to be fish, bugs. There's going to be mammals, birds, and it's going to change over time.
Nice. And that means each pad can hold until how many Polywogs?
Each pad can hold 1, but there are some cards being made that can double them. Like there's going to be like one mythical like type creature that when it's played, all pads count as 2. So you could put down 8 of them. Or if you have a special card in play that allows 6 in play, you can have up to 12. If you play just right, you can have up to 12 maximum.
All right. So let's say you have one pad, and then you can only give or cast how call it in your game, cast or something, a Polywog. What if I have another Polywog? Can I cast it with the same pad, or it should be occupied already?
If it's occupied already, you can't put another one on it unless something says you can do 2. But otherwise, it's 1 Polywog per pad. And if say you play a card, there are cards that allow you to put them down with no pads. But if the opponent removes that card, anything without a pad, it's going to be destroyed.
Wow. Okay, that's good. That's like it sinks.
There's a lot of strategy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. And I've seen cards that have polyrads. Can you explain more about that?
So the polyrads are sort of like my mana system.
Mm-hmm.
So each player at the beginning of the game, you start off with 2 polyrads, and that's like a shared pool. So each player has 2, and you can add to that. So you can play a card like a meteor shower, and it'll add 3 polyrads to the count. So you have 5 per turn.
Mm-hmm.
But when you play that, it also adds 5 to the opponent. So not only do you have 5 now, they've got 5 as well. So you've got to watch how you play, because not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping your opponent as well.
So is this a requirement? A polyrad is a requirement to evolve your polywog or
Yes.
something?
Yeah, they're going to be required. Like stage 1s are free. You can play them with no problem at all. You can put down as many as you want, no problem. But when you evolve, there is a cost. Generally, stage 2s have a 2 cost. So no matter what, you should be able to play that, because the game allows you to have 2 no matter what. But stage 3s have a higher cost. You're going to need to play something to add to your polyrad count.
All right. So how do you fight with the opponent in Magic the Gathering? Have you played Magic the Gathering?
Yes.
Before? Yeah. So when you attack a certain creature, and then they can respond to different creatures that they have available, right? And how do you do it in your in Polywog?
In Polywog, when you attack, there is generally no harm comes to you during the attack. So if you attack the opponent and you do 20 damage, that's it. You do 20 damage, you don't take anything. That's that. But there are certain pads you can put down that reflect some of the damage back, or maybe even inflict poison, things like that. So it depends on which pad you're using and what your strategy is, if you're going to fight back or not during their turn.
Okay, that's good. And then you die when your deck is 0, right?
Yeah, if your deck reaches 0, you lose. That's it. Game over.
So we can say that we can compare it to like a nest. Your deck is a nest, and then a community of polywogs there. And if you kill them all, and then you're done. You're finished. Oh, that's a good concept.
It's interesting. You know? And then, like I said, if you say you're having a bad turn, you don't have any cards to play, the mechanics allow you to spend your polyrad points to draw cards from your deck. So that way you can get some cards, but at the same time, that's helping you, because now you have something you can play.
Yes, correct.
But you're taking from your life.
Correct. Yeah.
So you're hurting yourself.
From your community. Yeah. Community of polywogs. And then, yeah, you're going to exhaust that deck. Oh,
exactly.
Wow. That is a good way of, it's a different game, actually. So, and also, so you will die when your deck is to 0, right? And what other means to kill your opponents?
That's really it. Once you run their deck down, and the polywogs, each card has it has an attack damage that it does, but there's also a number at the bottom that says deck damage. So when you're attacking their deck directly, each card discards a certain amount. So stage 1s usually discard 1. Stage 2s will do 1 or 2, and some stage 3 creatures will discard 3 cards at a time. So if you've got 3 stage 3s down and you attack their deck, you're taking 9 cards out of the game. So once you get further in the game, you're going to be removing decks quickly.
Okay,
if you're not defending yourself.
Yeah, so that means every polywog can attack directly to your deck or to the opponent's deck, right?
Yeah, as long as there's no polywogs on the field. If there's polywogs on the field, you must attack those.
Yeah, and then the opponents in your opponent's polywogs, they are the ones who can defend that, right?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Yeah, very good. That's a good concept of the game. So, all right, thank you for that. We're gonna talk about the rarities of the cards. You have the common, uncommon, rare, double rare, ultra rare, and elemental rares, right?
Yes.
So what is the ratio? Can you give us some idea of the rarity ratio in terms of packs or boxes that collectors or players can get?
Yep, I can give you exact ratios here. Unless it changes a little bit before launch, the current plan is every pack will have 6 commons, 3 uncommons, 1 guaranteed holo of any of the rarities, because the common, uncommon, and rares have both holo and non-holo. And then the final card will be either a rare, or ultra rare, or double rare, elemental rare. But the pull rates for those, every pack is guaranteed at least a rare or better. The double rares are, I don't have my numbers here, I think it's 1 in 5. Ultra rares are 1 in 15, and the elementals are 1 in 30.
Oh, that is 1/30 packs or
Every 30
boxes.
packs, you get one elemental.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, nice. And it started. Okay, you have the double rare. When will the foils or a special unique card starts? From the double rare
Some
or
of the
from
double
the
rares
rare?
will have the different art, but the ultra rares are going to have a higher art quality and possibly even the 3D printing now with the texture
Mm-hmm.
overlays. And
Okay.
then the elemental rares obviously will have the highest detail and things like that.
Yeah. So do you have special foiling? Because if you've familiar with Flesh and Blood, so they have like a cold foil. So do you have things like that?
Currently, the printing company I'm using only offers one specific type of foil, but I can do overlays differently to show different parts, and I can all or add the 3D printing and add textures to
Mm.
change things like that. But the printing company I'm using is the same company that prints Force of Will cards. So
Ah, okay.
if you know those cards, you'll know the type of quality we're looking at and type of textures and stuff.
I've seen it on Rudy's channel, but I haven't touched any cards yet. But I'm sure that will
Oh,
be
yeah,
a
they're
very
pretty
good card.
nice.
Yeah. Okay. So when do you where do you plan to print the cards? Will it be in US or in other country?
This company is China based, which is why the test cards are not in yet. I've already they should have been here a while ago, but there was just a 10-day holiday in China, so they weren't producing anything for the last 10 days. The holiday's
Mm-hmm.
now over, so I should be getting them soon, I hope.
Mm-hmm. And do you have the samples already?
That's what I'm waiting on.
Oh, some okay. All right. So regarding the Kickstarter, will you insert the box stoppers in the Kickstarter, or
There's no
you?
box toppers planned,
Oh no. Okay.
but everybody from Kickstarter, if you bought anything, you're getting a bunch of promos, so you're guaranteed some promos with extended art on them, so they're pretty nice also. But box toppers, they didn't happen this time.
Yeah. So Kickstarter promo starts from what tier?
I think the lowest tier, except for like pledge, unless you pledge without a reward, I
Mm-hmm.
believe the lowest tier does say, don't quote me on this. The lowest one might be something with no reward as well, but the first or second one does start giving you promos.
Okay. Are we gonna put some links on the Kickstarter so they can review
Okay.
everything there? And if ever someone backs at $1 and someone backs at 300, what's the difference between the add-ons for that? If yeah.
Anybody can add add-ons no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So if they back $1, they should be able to add any add-ons. And the same with if you back at $300, you can add any add-ons. The only difference being if you back at $300, you're getting 6 boxes plus
Yeah.
as many add-ons as you want, and the lower tiers are just whatever you bought into plus as many add-ons as you want.
Mm-hmm. So after October 16th, can I change to another, like if I was at $1 backer and then can I change it to 300 or it
I don't believe
depends?
Kickstarter's. This is my first Kickstarter thing, so I don't think it allows that. I don't think it
Yeah.
allows me to do that. But if somebody wants to change something, and it's right after the Kickstarter ends, I'm sure I can do something. But
Mm.
this set is being printed to close to exactly what I sell on Kickstarter. I'm gonna get a couple extra boxes. That
Yeah.
way, if something's damaged in transit, I can replace it. I don't want somebody getting a damaged box, but I don't want to print too many and devalue the first set from people that are here helping me out, making this game a reality.
So that means you can buy more boxes after the Kickstarter until June 2022, right?
I wouldn't even go quite until June
No?
because the printing is going to be probably done a month before release. So because I got to wait for them to print all these cards and ship them in. So May maybe
Uh-huh.
right around that
Because
area.
they said one creator said that you have to order the paper for 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, so I'm still working on talking with these
It's a
guys. So
long one,
it's yeah.
long time, yeah. So um for if you're familiar with Made Zoo, they have a lot of products like socks,
They got a
backpacks.
lot of stuff. I know.
Yeah, they're going for the branding. So are you going to this type of business like anything like toothpaste or something like that?
Yeah,
You know?
not that's not currently planned. I don't want to go overboard because it can get too much too fast, and if you say you do that and then it doesn't pick up quite as well as you like, then you're
Yeah.
kind of in a hole with all these products. And MetaZoo's still really early in its lifestyle, or so it's still got to pick up a hold on the market. And if it fails to do so, they're pretty invested.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And Pokemon has cartoons.
Pokemon's
Maybe
huge.
are
They
you
can do whatever they want.
they started on cartoons our game, right? The digital game.
The initial thing I believe was the manga. It actually
Okay.
started with Clefairy being the main character.
Mm, all right. And then they go move on to the cartoons or from TCG. I'm not
I
sure
believe it went to
what's the first.
TCG, and then games and the anime. I'm sure, but I'm not entirely sure their timeline. But I know they started off relatively small as well. Then they grew fast.
Uh-huh. Because I guess the secret of every company is branding. So it's like
Yes,
putting your name everywhere. So
but I'm going to be working on the comics as well. So I'm going to have the comic,
yeah,
and
that's
then
good.
we've got the card game here, and then I'll work on some more things as time progresses. But right now, I'm only one person working, so it's
Yeah,
tough to keep up. It
that's
really
tough. Yeah.
is.
So the comics will come with the Kickstarter.
I'm hoping to get everybody sent one of those when it comes out, but I don't have a timeline on those yet, so I haven't updated anybody on that. That's just kind of something I'm working on. I'm not sure how it's going to be distributed yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when the Kickstarter is done, um, will you focus mainly on Polywog or will you focus between two companies like MG Cards and Polywog?
I'm going to try and put most of my focus on POLYWOG because I do have a lot to do with that, and I got to finish developing future sets. I do have ideas and stuff where I'm going. I have my first employee lined up for MG Cards, so I'm going to be getting that taken care of really soon. But I have my first employee lined up for MG Cards, so
Mm-hmm.
that should be helping me step away a little bit more every day to work on this. And then things are progressing there, so I should be good to hire a couple more and work on POLYWOG.
Uh-huh. So you mentioned the expansion sets, right?
Yes,
Are you expanding like by blocks or just the whole with a series of just like what Magic the Gathering is doing now? They go on the series of expansion set without blocks. I know that they have like a block with the Ice Age. Yeah, so I'm not sure if they're doing it right now with other blocks. Are you doing that?
I don't follow Magic too much because they make it kind of confusing for me,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. So if I go to the store, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy a couple Magic packs today to look, just see what I get, and there's 72 items on the wall,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
you're right.
I'm like, just forget it. I don't know what I want.
Okay, because
So
I can give you a really good example. Like Maida Zoo has a Cryptid Nation. So the
yes,
Cryptid Nation has subsets like Cryptid Nation, Nightfall, Wilderness, something like that. And then they will have a new block, which is
I got you.
Yokai, right?
Yeah.
Are you doing that as well?
That's not the way it's currently planned. It's just going to be like every set just kind of progresses the lore and the story a little bit more. Like for example, this set is entirely based on amphibians. All the creatures are amphibious based, obviously. And the next set is going to start adding in like insects and fish, and then maybe different mechanics with no pads, or insects might not need them because they can fly, so there might be
Mm-hmm.
abilities there. The third set is going to start seeing mammals and birds. So the
Nice.
mechanics will you're going to see slight additions to and changes to mechanics as the game progresses, but it's not going to be every set released this year has only this type of cards or anything like that. It's just going to progress as it goes.
Yeah, so there will be like lake creature, lake polywogs, and then they have ocean polywogs. Wow,
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
gonna evolve and change over time because
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to tell a story of how these things, because the lore, the way it is in a nutshell, is it's a world just like ours, just like Earth we live on now, but a meteor comes down with this weird radiation and starts changing these creatures and making it into this strange new world, and we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to grow and change and evolve with it as things are getting weird around us.
All right. Well, that's cool. Regarding distributions, like how do you plan to distribute all the products? Would you go for the model of distributor and then it goes to the LGS and then to the consumers? So, or maybe it's coming from MG cards only.
Both options are going to be available because I do currently have an online store. It's still small, but so I do have the licensing to sell products already. So, or the proper business license and everything. It's all there. So I will sell some products, but I will have stipulations to where if you buy directly, the products have to be sold at or under a certain cost. That way you can't scalp them and people can actually get my product.
So there will be like limits on buying things?
That will get to the LGSs. I'm just going to tell them, look, you can't sell this box for more than $100 because that's not fair. But I'm also already talking to Southern Hobby. Their purchasing department is already looking at the Kickstarter and information I have. They said they're probably going to want to sell it, but I've got to let them know when I'm ready to launch set 2 because they can't base it off set 1 because it's Kickstarter exclusive. So they want to see their product, but they're interested. So it should be available to them, and they supply a large portion of the country with cards.
Okay, so the Kickstarter will start at MG Cards, and then the next expansion will be for the distributors, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, got it. So yeah, that's really interesting. And okay, so aside from Discord and other communities of Polywog, do you have any other social media groups or something that people can join?
There is currently also an Instagram. I post a few images on it every now and then, but I don't get to it too fast. But coming up in the next couple of weeks, once art's produced quicker, you're going to see a lot more things on Instagram. Discord is going to start seeing things as well as updates on the Kickstarter. Updates on Kickstarter. Website will be coming pretty soon. There's just some licensing stuff I got to take care of before I can actually get that working. But right now, Discord, Instagram, and the Kickstarter is where you can find the information.
So the website, are we expecting it this year?
Yeah, it should be up this year.
Okay.
I would hope within a month. I've just got to get a couple things taken care of.
That's good because I was looking at the online and I was looking for Polywog.
Yeah, you go to polywog.com and there's nothing.
Yeah, I went to the Instagram. Yeah, and so I guess that's all my question is, and maybe you can invite our viewers for the Kickstarter, and maybe you have some other products of Polywog that is on shelves, and I will put the links down on the description as well. So can you invite our viewers?
Okay. Yeah, we can just put the links down there for the Kickstarter and the Instagram and stuff. So I'll provide those to you. And then, like I said, that's about it right now. I still got to work on some things, but being on my own and trying to do card grading and online sales, I got myself in a bit of a mess with a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So I'm so happy for you that you achieved 800%. Wow.
I know, it's insane.
That is cool. And it's growing. And it's still 5 days to go, you know?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So thank you so much for your time, Keven. And I really appreciate.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. And I'm glad to explain. And any questions anybody else has, they can always get a hold of me on Discord. Make sure they tag me because like I said, I am busy. I try to get to them when I can, but I have like 700 notifications on my phone and I can't get to all of them.
Oh, all right, I understand. Thank you for so much. All right, so guys, thank you so much for watching our interview with Keven Madden, and go to the Kickstarter. I will put all the links down below so that you just one click on and you can back the project. All right, so thank you very much and see you on the next video. Bye.
Hey, everybody.